There you go.
Keep moving.
That's good.
That's fun,
All right, I'd like to call the Subcommittee of Economic Development to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Chairman Samaras,
Present.
Counsel Leary,
Here.
Counsel Milonazo.
Here.
3 present.
Thank you. Tonight's a discussion of the proposal that the Athenian Corner has in building a hotel or a boutique hotel in the downtown. Want to congratulate you for that. And Mr. Panis, I'd like to have you introduce the people that are with you, and we begin.
Right in front of you.
There we go. Ah, stereo. Okay. First of all,
I have to have you do it all over again.
do we? All right. Do I really have to do it over again?
No.
No. Okay. I want to introduce the team, and then I'll let them talk because they're really the ones that have done most of the work. First of all, Tim Grover, sitting on our far left over there, is partnering with my family in putting this project together, and we're excited. We've known Tim and the Grover family forever. His business expertise and his commitment to the community are exactly what we were looking for in doing this. Attorney George Theodorou has been representing us in this project, and this is attorney Matt Hammer from Landplex, engineer Matt Hammer from Landplex, and he has kind of put together a lot of the plans along with our architect team of LaGrasse and Associates out of Andover. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the people who know what they're talking about.
Attorney George Theodorou, 133 Market Street. As Teddy said, this has been a long-standing plan of their family to build and design this hotel on this corner, the Athenian Corner, which it truly is and will be. The design of the hotel is going to be 5 stories, and each of the stories, each of the floors is going to be dedicated and tell a story of each one of the neighborhoods in the city of Lowell. It is going to be, in that case, a tribute to the city as well as a tribute to the Panagiotopoulou family. It will serve as a foundation for people when they come into the city and stay here at this hotel to, in the historic downtown section of Lowell, to learn about the city of Lowell just by virtue of staying in the hotel. Now, we went ahead and we met with the Lowell Downtown Neighborhood Association. We met with them last week. We had a very, very lively discussion. Mr. Samaras, Councilor Samaras, was there. And the discussion based upon the residents in the downtown area, the livability, the quality of the hotel, what it's going to have to offer, and it was a very, very exciting discourse that we had, where the residents understood that this would be a place that would welcome visitors, it would welcome family members, it would welcome businessmen from out of town, it would welcome visitors to the university, as well as those tourists or those individuals, families who are coming here to watch a sporting event at the Tsongas Arena, or maybe take in a play at the Merrimack Repertory Theater. So it would offer all of that. And part of the master plan of the city seeks to develop the downtown area as a hub, as a hub that has various types of activities for people, places for them to stay, places for them to eat, to draw people into the city, into the downtown. And this is certainly something that would do that. And the studies that we had indicated that have been done is that the city could support what is called a boutique-style hotel, which is a small-scale hotel. It's important for the city to understand that this is going to be locally owned by the Panagiotopolis family and locally managed. It's not going to be franchised out to anyone. It's going to be locally owned and managed. And part of this is also going to be the redevelopment of and the expansion of the Athenian Corner restaurant that is going to be located on the first floor. It'll be the current design, which is in flux, will accommodate approximately 120 people. There'll be small function rooms. There'll be smaller reception rooms that can be used. And at the same time, there's a historic component to this because the original building that's there, 205 Market Street, is called the Putnam Building. It was actually, before that, it was the site of what was the Universalist Methodist Church that was on that site going back to the middle of the late 1800s. So we've been also working with the Historic Commission and their staff, and we've had a number of design review meetings going over and making this design something that would fit in with the historic downtown and also practical, and also something that is pleasant to look at. Another part of this that is a major function is some of the handouts that you have is the impact that it's going to have on the city. It's going to have an extremely positive impact in the creation of temporary construction jobs while this is ongoing, but would also have permanent jobs that will be supplied. Approximately 18 permanent full-time positions and 17 part-time positions as a result of the hotel. And one thing that the residents from the Downtown Neighborhood Association liked about this project is this is going to be managed 24 hours a day. This corner is going to be lit. There's going to be someone there 24 hours a day. There's going to be visibility. There's going to be security. There's going to be somebody staffed there the whole time. And then another part of this economic impact that brings into the city is strictly from the tax revenue that's brought in, from the projections that we have from meals tax, property tax, and room tax. The first year's projection is about close to $1 million, $896,000. So yes, this is a substantial investment that the Panagiotopolis family is going to be making. We would estimate at the outset about $6.5 million, but we hope to, by doing that, we hope to be drawing people into the city. People are going to be patronizing the restaurant. Those people are going to be coming in and also patronizing the other businesses and the other restaurants, and it's going to be a win for the city for the revenue as well. So that being said, we'd like to entertain any questions that you may have.
Right, thank you. First, I'd like to recognize Councilor Belanger and Councilor Mercia that are present here, also City Manager Murphy. Thank you. One of the questions that some of the people brought up was how come it wasn't a historic design in the sense of where this is the historic district, and you had a good explanation, but people are curious about that.
There's a part of what the Lowell Historic Commission likes to do is they like to blend in new buildings with the old. And it's not a sense of recreating something that's going to look like a historic building to do that when it blends in with a historic building. It's putting up a new building that will complement it. And when something like this is done, people can easily see that, gee, there's development here. There's development that's ongoing, and it's part of a creative process that this has been done. Over this time, they gave us a number of hours that we've gone over this in design review with the Historic Commission. They, with the architects of the Historic Commission, Rachel Edlin and Steve Stoll, we went over this process and came to this design, which actually complements the old with the new.
Thank you. No, that was a good answer, but as they stated, many people often wonder if you're in a historic district, is it necessary? But you don't replicate something.
You don't, yeah, the style is not to go ahead and just replicate it, make it look like an old building. The style is to take it and to complement the building. And part of that is the bottom of the building that you see wraps around the brick. And that's what the brick wraps around. And then there's a transition from the old to the new. You see next to the historic building that's there, which is the original Athenian Corner building, there's a blue strip that comes up there, and that's carried forward up to the roof area there. That's sort of a modern style to give it a transition from the old to the new.
Two questions, and I'll turn it over to the other councilors. One question that was asked at LTC was about traffic or parking. There was concern about that, and how would you be able to handle that? Would there be any issues for them?
Well, with the generosity and the goodwill of the city, they've assisted us and handled the parking issue with us by providing us with 55 spaces. Under the city's zoning ordinance, for 52 rooms at the hotel, you're required to have 53 spaces, and we have 55 spaces committed from the city to the Leo Roy parking garage. Now, with respect to the patrons of the restaurant, we'll have valet parking available, and we'll be able to valet them off to private lots that we're going to be used in the area. So when someone comes up to patronize the restaurant and they have a vehicle and they don't want to look for parking, we'll find a space for them and park it, and then have it available for them when they finish dinner. With respect to the patrons of the hotel, their vehicles will be parked in the parking garage.
No, I like that. I mean, it's a sign of a new Lowell when you're talking about that. But you didn't really fully explain the rooms that you're going to have upstairs and the opportunities people will have to rent it and the names of the rooms. I found that interesting. I think people found that, an attractive idea. Could you explain a little more about that?
Well, a little bit about the rooms upstairs. Each of the rooms upstairs are going to have a patio area out there, so there'll be an extension there. So that is not going to be visible from the street at all because of the sight lines. With the design with the historic board, they really didn't want to have a look of the patios on the upper floors, on the top floor, to see people up there at all. It would detract from its poor taste, poor style. So you're not going to be able to see the people on the upper floors. There's actually going to be a buffer between their rooms, their patio, and the edge of the building, because they're going to be large planters that are going to be there that actually will serve, number one, as a buffer between the individuals and the edge of the building, and they'll also serve as drainage for the rainwater that will be captured in those and drained. But also on the upper floor, there's going to be a larger area there that can be rented out and used for receptions, that can be used for workshops, those type of functions, as well as other rooms in the upper floors of the original Putnam building. For the Athenian Corner restaurant, there'll be some larger floors there that could be used for conventions, for business meetings, and for receptions as well. All on a small scale, All
right, no, thank you. Councilman Milanese?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me begin by thanking the Panagiotopoulou family and Tim Grover for having the confidence in the community to invest in a project like this. I think it's very exciting. I think it's really overdue for the downtown. I think there's enough activity here to generate the business that you all are going to need to support this hotel. I'm actually excited by the design. I think that the blue accent, actually going back to the Greek heritage, if you will, I think that's important to the Panagiotopoulou family. And again, thinking about the fact that the Athenian Corner has been here since 1974, and some of us who've been around for a long time remember the signs in downtown Lowell: we tried, we failed, we quit. Well, the Panagiotopoulou family didn't. You stayed, you continued to invest and reinvest in this community. And now this, to look at this exciting $6.5 million project, I think was the number that you said, is just again, a testament to your belief in this community, and the fact that your parents and your sister and yourself had the confidence to invest in this community, and now really put a showpiece in the downtown that, as you indicated, Attorney Theodoro, that people are going to be able to access all of the various activities in the downtown. It's across the street from the National Park Visitor Center. It's very close to all of the other amenities in the downtown. You can walk to the Merrimack Repertory Theater. You can do so much. So I think this is a terrific plan. I'm excited to hear that you went to the planning board and received approval, and it sounds like the discussions at the historic board are going well. So again, as a city councilor, I fully support this investment, and I think that it'll be successful. So again, congratulations to the whole team. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Milanazzo, because he took the words out of actually everybody's mouth in the sense of, it's really important when local people really are willing to take, in a sense, I don't like to use the word risk, but, invest their money into doing something even better in the city. I mean, that's a type of faith that's very important for us. Councilor Leary?
No, I want to echo what Council Milanazzo was stating. Over 40 years, your family has an investment in the city and the downtown. And often people speak about that investment in terms of what we want to do and what's failed and what hasn't failed. But your family has endured and now is going to prosper. And I'm very excited, as Councilor Milanazzo said, this is a showpiece to the city. And I think if you look at it from a standpoint of how cities are growing, if you travel anywhere in bigger cities here or in Europe or have you, you're really looking at the roof. You're going to have a roof deck. You're going to have a complementary area that's going to hopefully change the landscape of downtown in a very positive way. I like the open concept in terms of the windows and the outside part. I think that's fantastic. And I think it is a complementary fit from what you currently have in transitioning to the corner of that area. And it's going to be something that's going to be a helpful economic boost to the community. We definitely need a hotel. I think a boutique hotel is the right start. It's something that will hopefully flourish. If there's anything we can do to make that successful, we'll definitely want to be a part of that. So, one, thank you very much for your family's commitment to the community, and thank you for this impressive showpiece to the downtown. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all the councilors, if I may. And a lot of it is due, it's the right time now because of the leadership that this council has shown, this administration has shown. There's a lot going on in the city. 3 years ago, this might not have been the right time. It is today, and the future is definitely going to be the right time as well. And a lot of that is due to your work and the manager and his administration's work as well, and in creating an environment where you take a risk, because it's not as big a risk as it was at one time.
Thank you for that. Councilor Rourke is also present. But one of the other councilors, Councilor Mercia?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just very pleased that this is going to beautify the downtown with your investment. I'm very, very happy to be supportive of this. I want to know if we, as a council, need to vote on this for support. Do you need something like that? Or is he just...
I believe so. I think we... Councilor Eric Slagle, Attorney Slagle.
Thank you, Eric Slagle, Director of Development Services. In response to the councilor's question, this project is actually going to need some formal votes from the City Council for things like licenses for access over the sidewalk and for the signage. So there will definitely be an opportunity. I don't know when exactly it's going to be brought before the council, but the hotel's going to need the council to officially vote to allow it to proceed with the design that they currently have.
Yeah, thank you so much. Rest assured, you have my vote. Move approval.
There's one.
Thank you.
But perhaps Councilor Mercia made a suggestion in the sense of we can go beyond that and just as a council give a vote of confidence for what you're doing. I thank you for that. Councilor Belanger, do you have any? Councilor Rourke? Yes.
Just quickly, through Mr. Chair, just talk a little bit about the traffic concerns, the stuff that you've worked with the traffic department. I know that you've put a lot of effort in terms of how the crosswalk's going to change and some of that dynamic is going to...
Yeah, we did work with, and again, we worked tirelessly with the staff in going over this. And part of the work with the traffic and the traffic engineer was to redesign the alignment of Shattuck Street and Market Street. the opening of Shattuck Street is the realignment is gonna close that a bit to make traffic flow better, and also so it won't be as wide a gap, a crosswalk there, so that'll be easier pedestrian traffic access. Also, what we've done is we've relocated the crosswalk and made that, moved that up. Actually, it's moved in a westerly direction up Market Street towards Dutton Street to realign it with the visitor center. So it is significant that the National Park Visitor Center is right across the street. So the crosswalk is going to be aligned with the visitor center. And what we did with that is also at the suggestion of the Park Service is we have made an improvement with respect to the sidewalk in front of the Park Service. So again, to accommodate pedestrian access and safety. And also we're going to be working with the traffic engineer and the city to have proper signage there so that it's marked clearly, and also to stripe and identify the crosswalk so that it's safe and easy for pedestrian access.
And you're paying, and the family is paying for all that, so I think that's.
We're paying, yes.
So it's a good project, but it's also, you've done it the right way. You've gone through all the different boards. You're going through still the historic board. You've worked with the national park. So it's something that's going to be done the right way, and it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be a major asset for the downtown. So I'm very, very encouraged and very looking forward to support it once it does become for any votes for the city council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Slagle, do you have anything to add to this in regard to meetings or anything that they have to fulfill, or anything that the city council can help at this present time?
No, I think that the Attorney Theodoro has covered the ground pretty quickly and effectively. The planning board did vote to approve the project with some standard conditions about the site and the items that the applicant has agreed to do with respect to mitigation on the sidewalks and the crosswalks. And it was a unanimous vote. They do have a hearing before the historic board on Monday, and at that point, I think we'd be turning around and expecting them to be submitting their building permits.
Okay. As Councilor Leary stated, they're going through all the steps, all the proper steps.
Absolutely. They have worked very closely. We've had multiple meetings with internally with the staff prior to the formal submission to the planning board. They actually went for a pre-hearing to the planning board to get the kind of the temperature of the board, which I always suggest is a great choice. And they took that step, which I think made Monday night's meeting much more smooth than it sometimes might have been. But this was a great project. I think the planning board agreed, and the staff agreed as well.
It's the way to do things. Actually, Councilor Murphy's here. Councilor Kevin, City Manager Murphy, Councilor, State Rep, whichever title you want to take. Could you add to this meeting?
As far as
What are your thoughts on this process?
I think it's terrific, and in my viewpoint, I think the Hamilton Canal parking garage is going to be much more accessible for this project, and the fact that they're moving the crosswalk up further to the visitor center is going to make great access right to the Hamilton Canal parking garage. So I know this is a great project. We've been working closely with them. We want to make sure it comes to fruition, and as long as you keep the mythoses there, then we'll make sure that we support this tremendously. But it's a great project.
Thank you, Manager Murphy. Any questions? No. Well, I want to thank Teddy. I want to thank you and your family, and Mr. Grover, for doing something, a plan that's going to be quite exciting to Lowell, and something. Actually, we've been talking about a hotel for a long time, and the boutique hotel really is a way to go. There's no question about that. So we wish you great success.
Thank you. It'll even have a green roof.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move to accept the report as a real report of progress for the downtown, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This meeting closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I guess the clerk told us we should open up to the public in case anyone wished to. We've just made a presentation, but is anybody here that would like to speak on this project? Okay, thank you very much.
Right.